Okay, what's the first angle? What is the first angle? Lindsay? Right angle. Okay. What's the second angle? Chance? Chase? Obtuse. The third angle. The third angle is what type of an angle? Lily? Acute. And finally, class, what's the fourth one?
Straight.
Straight. That's easy, okay? Now then, we're going to talk about adjacent angles, and you probably need to put this on some notes, not on the whiteboard. You need to know what an adjacent angle is, what vertical angles are, and what congruent angles are. What does the word congruent tell you? That one should be an easy one. Congruent means what? Raise your hand. Congruent means what? What is congruent? The same or equal. Okay? So congruent angles have the same type of measurements. That's pretty simple. We're going to back up though. Adjacent. Adjacent angles are two angles that share a common side and have the same vertex. Common side, same vertex. Adjacent angles. That would be a simple, quick definition. Adjacent angles, common side, same vertex. We also call that side, that common side, we would call it a ray, okay? A common ray or a common side. This needs to be on paper. So if you take a look at it, angles 1 and 2 are adjacent. What else are you going to recognize about 1 and 2? What else do you notice about their two angles? What is it equivalent to? Cadence. It's going to be equal to 180 degrees. Good. Is it the same for angles 3 and 4? Would angles 1 and 4 be adjacent?
No, they'd be vertical. They'd be the
1 and 4, do they share a common side?
Yes.
Do they share the vertex?
Yes.
So would these two be adjacent?
Yes.
Yes. Would these two also equal 180 degrees?
Yes.
What about 2 and 3? Are they adjacent?
Yes.
Common side, common vertex. Is it coincidence that they're going to equal 180 degrees?
No.
No. So that may be something else that will help you, an added piece of information about adjacent angles. The sum of their angles will be 180 degrees. Kind of like on our vocab, when it wants another piece of information, that would be another piece of information. Okay? Vertical angles. Two angles are vertical when they are opposite angles. They have to be opposite angles formed by the intersection of two lines. Okay? And the cool thing about vertical angles are that their measurement is congruent. They're vertical and congruent. So the vertical angles, their measurements are going to be equal. Okay? If you think about adjacent, you sit adjacent the person next to you. Your shoulder partner is the adjacent person to you. You share a common side of your desk, technically, and you could say you have a vertices right there where those two desks come together. Point. Okay? When we used to sit in the squares, the groups of 4, your vertical angle was the diagonal person across from you. Okay? The vertical angle, I like to think of the vertical angles as they're looking at each other. you will see symbols being used with angles like what we've got here. Angles 1 and 3 are congruent. Notice how they've got just a single red arc on each one of them. And angles 2 and 4 have a double red arc, meaning that those two are congruent. Okay? And they use these are congruent symbols that they use, whether it's angles or maybe they're talking about shapes. And they've got two shapes drawn that are similar, and they'll show you which one of the sides are congruent, and they use that same symbol. You also will find this information in that packet that I gave you. Page 272. Pardon? In one of the drawers right there, I do. It's at I know it's at the back, maybe the next one down. Okay? Did you find him? Okay. Name a pair of adjacent angles that you see in A. Now, here's what we got to notice. We've got letters, so how many letters are you going to have to use to identify that angle? 3, okay? And you have to use the angle symbol. The angle symbol is just like the less than or greater than symbol. Actually, like the less than. So name a pair of adjacent angles. Shelby.
Would it be FBA?
Okay, FBA and
CBA?
do you agree with her?
Yes.
Do they share a side and the vertex? Good. Do you see another set? Is there another set of adjacent angles that you can see? Ridley.
CBD and DBE.
DBE.
Yeah.
Angles CBD and angles DBE. What else? We got to have some more there. Bryn.
DBE and EBF.
Yeah, DBE and angle EBF. Do we have any others? Do we have others here, Joey?
I think FBA and EBD.
And which one?
DBE.
DBE. FBA, DBE. Do they share a side? Okay? They have to have that common side. Cadence.
Angle FBE and angle FBA.
She says FBE, FBE, and which other one?
FBA.
And FBA. Those two would share. Okay? So I've got FBE, angle FBE, and angle FBA. Good. I know there's going to be some things on your homework that's going to be just like this. And you're going to have to list every one of them that you can see. Okay? So it's not hard, but you have to be careful in the way that you do it so you can get them all listed. What about vertical angles? Can you identify a pair of vertical angles in that drawing? Vertical angles. Ty?
FBC.
Okay, he's saying FBC. Now that's a straight angle, isn't it? Okay. Vertical angles. Anna?
FBA,
Okay, you said F, B, A, and which other one?
EBD.
E, B, D. What do you think, class? Are they vertical? They do share the same vertex, but they're not across from each other. So that won't work, okay? G, give it a shot.
EBC.
E, B, C. Okay, he says E, B, C. If FBA came out like this, I would agree.
Oh, so wouldn't you do DBE and FBA?
Say that again, G.
DBE and FBA.
DBE. We've talked about that one already. They're not vertical to each other. Chase.
EBC
DBC.
and FBA.
FBA. Good. They're definitely a set of vertical angles. See how now they are looking at each other? Okay. Are there any others in that drawing?
Nope. FBC.
What was that?
FBD and ABC.
FBD and ABC. Yeah. They're going to be from here to here, right? Good. So we've got, let's write those down. We've got angle FBA and angle D. Oops. And then we had, say, FBD. And angle,
ABC.
okay? Are these two angles going to be congruent? Yes. If they're vertical, they're congruent, okay? You find them. Put it on your whiteboard. Let's do, I want two pairs of adjacent angles on number one. Two pairs of adjacent angles on number one. Let's do it first. Adjacent. That's one pair. They have to share a side. If they're adjacent, they have to share a side. That one I agree with. Check your partner. Yeah. The only thing is you're missing a symbol, and without the symbol, it's just a bunch of letters.
Miss Rachel, does it matter like what way you do it? She has like YWZ and I have ZWY.
It's the same, it's the
Okay.
exact same angle, so it doesn't matter, okay? Double check. Is that wrong? No, he's gonna go look for it.
Okay, that's what I was.
This one is not. Neither one of those are. They don't. You don't have any sides of these. WX. Nope. XWY. No. All right. Let me see. Grace, give me one pair. Okay, she's saying V. If I go to a highlighter, yeah. She's saying V, W, Z, and X, X, W, Z. That's not going to work. X, W, Z doesn't work because that's a straight angle. See, here's X, W, Z. Well, technically,
She said V, not Z.
here,
Yeah.
X, W, V,
Yeah.
and so Mrs. Rakestraw didn't hear. Okay, so we've got V, W, Z, and X, W, V. Yes. Yes. Those two are good. What else? Give me one more pair. G, give me another pair.
XWY.
Angle X, W, Y, which he says X, W, Y, okay? And what else?
XWV.
Angle X, W, V. Good, because that pulls this one. Okay? Does anybody have some that you just don't know? Vertical angles, adjacent angles, you got that now? Okay, let's see if we can identify two pairs of vertical angles within that. These are adjacent.
That same one?
Use the same one and we're going to find the vertical. I want two pair of vertical. Vertical. Austin, tell me a name, give me a pair of vertical angles there.
EJ and
What was that, son?
EJ and
Okay, we're on this one.
oh,
I want vertical angles. Pardon?
I thought we were on number 2.
Okay, well, just do it for me. I need a set of vertical angles, please. Looking right here, give me a set of vertical angles. Try. Two angles that are sharing a vertex. Name an angle there for me, will you?
W.
Try again, that's a point. Austin, I need you to put your thinking cap on, and I need you to try hard. Name an angle that is in picture number 1, please.
Straight.
I think we probably ought to just go out and find somebody else. Dakota?
VWY
Angle ZWY.
and VWX.
Angle ZWY. And what was your other angle?
VWX.
VWX. So we're looking at ZWY right here and VWX. Absolutely correct. There's another pair there. Give me one more pair. Molly. XWY. She says XWY. Yes. And VWZ. Good. Good job. Identifying vertical angles, fist to 5. How do you feel about that? You got that? Okay. Now, what do we know about vertical angles? What do we know in addition to the fact that they're across, they share a vertex? What else do we know? Madison?
They're like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know it.
Joey's busting at a gut over there. They're congruent. Good. So, if I know that this one is 70 degrees, is this one vertical to it?
Yeah.
So what's the measure of x?
70.
Good. Okay. Let's look at B. Write the answer to B on your whiteboard. Oh, it's a little bit different. What do we know about it? We know we have a right angle. Altogether, it's a right angle. What's the value of the unknown angle? Ty. Yeah, what do I get here? How are you going to know? What do I do?
You would, do x plus 4 minus 6, and then you would add it to 31, and then all equal 9.
Good job. It's an excellent equation right there. Okay? So I've got technically x has to be equal to what? X is equal to what? Now I'm not talking about the angle yet, but what is x? When I simplify here. These two added together is 35, am I right? So I have to subtract 35 from both sides. And now x is equal to, G? 55, but that doesn't answer the question, does it? What is the measure of the missing angle?
So you would have to add in 4 to
You have to add it to the 4. So the measure of the missing angle then is 59. Good. Okay. Had to just plug it in. Is this exactly what we were doing just previous to this?
Yep.
Good. I'm not going to ask you to draw those. I think you could, though, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because we're still going to have to be doing some drawing. All right. Tell whether the angles are adjacent or vertical. Number 3. Tell me, folks, adjacent or vertical?
Adjacent.
It's adjacent.
It's adjacent. They're not on the same side.
Adjacent. Do they share a side and the vertex?
Sure, yeah.
So what is the missing angle? What is x? I've got one that says 95 degrees. Do you agree with her?
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you take 180 minus 85, the missing is 95 degrees. Good. Number 4, adjacent or vertical? Vertical. Good. And if they're vertical, 90 degrees. Good. What about number 5? Are they adjacent or vertical? They're adjacent. Find the missing angle. Look what you're doing. If this is the work for that one, I know it's not going to get you what you need. Good. Yes. 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 We see yours, Joey. Good. Check your partner. Well, you're close. Look at right here.
Oh.
Uh-huh. You're very close. Look at it again. No, look again. Yes. 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 Dakota, are you working on it?
Okay. I just read it out loud.
Austin, are you working on it?
You have to multiply it by 2.
Yeah, but that is.
Then find the value back.
I wouldn't do that. Anna, did you get an answer yet, babe? Okay, let's look at it. What do we get here, ladies and gentlemen? It is 21 degrees. Now, I've got some that are questioning it, not knowing for sure how it went. Somebody tell me, where does that come from? Better yet, here. Here's the marker. G. Put it on the smart board.
Like the equation?
Yep.
Okay.
I know you had it, that's why. Okay, step sideways. Okay, explain. You're right.
Okay, so this is a right angle, so it has to equal 90 degrees. So you do 90 minus 69, and then minus 2x minus 1. Well, x equals 11, because you would do, you'd
Add up.
you'd add opposite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd add opposite, and so you get x equals 11, and then if you if
Multiply.
multiply, so you'd add opposite here and here, and so then this would be negative 21. Since you're doing that, you add opposite, you get 21.
Okay. You are right, it is 21. X is 11, and if you plug it back in the original equation that it showed you, 2 times 11 is 22, minus 1 is 21. You are correct there, okay? His way of doing it may be a little bit unorthodox, but he's got it, he's right. Joey?
I'm just confused. If we know it's 90 degrees and 69, why don't we just minus, like, subtract instead of messing with those numbers? If it gets the same answer.
It would get you the same answer.
That's
Okay,
just G's
so-
way of doing
That's what I did.
All right, another way of doing it. Joey says, well, if I know this is a 90-degree combined, then why not just say 90 minus 69 equals
You still gotta find X.
21? No, you really wouldn't.
No,
Yeah.
because it is X.
It is X.
Because you have to add the parentheses.
Yeah, but you have to find
Anyway.
X, and so then.
If the direction said, oh, it did say.
Yeah.
If we go back to the directions, Joey, that's why. Find the value of X. So if you had to find the value of X, you're gonna have to plug it in, right? Okay? So either way, we're good. We're not drawing. We're gonna move down. All right, I wanna know. 1 is for true, 2 is for false. Will vertical angles always be acute? 1 or 2? Will vertical angles always be acute? Showdown. No. No. Can I have 2 obtuse angles that are vertical?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, adjacent angles, will they always be acute?
It says could be.
Could be.
Adjacent angles could be acute. Could they be acute? Sure they could. But if they have to equal up to 100 and, well, there could be more than just 2. Okay? All right, adjacent angles could be obtuse. True or false? True or false? Get everybody saying true. I need to look at that one. Vertical angles, are they going to be congruent? Always. Vertical angles are always congruent. Adjacent angles could be congruent. Could be. If they were not both 90 degrees, that would be congruent. That would be okay. So it's possible. Assignment. This is your assignment. I'm going to turn this off.